Welcome to this video. Today we are going to take a look at the Finviz stock screener settings to basically identify stocks which are on sale. So these are stocks which basically uh, are really good buy opportunities and you can take trading and investment decisions on these stocks. Before we proceed, the disclaimer. Uh, all the information that I'm going to be sharing with you is based on my understanding. It's my opinion, and it's only and only for educational purposes. Uh, I am not making any buy or sell or trading or investment recommendations in any way. So I hope this information is helpful, but please review this information, and if you feel that this information is good for you after due consideration, then you can use it in whatever way you want. But this is strictly for educational purposes and it reflects my opinion. It's not an investment or a trading recommendation of any kind. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Finviz stock screener and the settings that I basically use as part of one of my strategies to identify stocks that are on sale. So we'll go to the actual Finviz platform and have a look as to how it works. So this is the screener that I was talking about, and in order to access this screener, you can just go to finviz.com. That's finviz.com. And this particular website provides a lot of features. Some of these are available with the free version, some of these are available with the paid version. Today we'll see a very basic screener that helps me identify the stocks which are on sale using the free version itself. But you can actually try the paid version as well. If you like the free version, you can always upgrade to the paid version. I'll leave a link down below in the description. So once you go to this website, finviz.com, this particular page, similar to the one that you're seeing below, will load up. And then on this menu bar, the third option here is the screener option. So you need to click on the screener option next. And it took some time here. It's usually very, very fast, so it doesn't take this much time. Maybe something wrong with my internet connection. And once this page loads up, you can see that there are lots of options here. So essentially, all the stocks which are listed here, right now you can see all 7,869 stocks are being listed here. So this is because there are no filters that have been applied right now. And so this is listing all the stocks. Now, if I were to put any of the filters, for example, I select the sector as basic materials, then you can see that this number will go down. It's gone down to 246 here. And this 246 basically is the filtered number of stocks which belong to this sector. So you understand the basic concept. You can select any of the options here. And as in when you select the options, this filter will keep reducing the number of stocks being displayed based on the conditions that you're selecting in these options. Now, all the options have been divided into four tabs here: descriptive, fundamental, technical, and then you have all. So I like going to the all option for the simple reason being that it allows me to set all the parameters in one go. Now, the parameters that I use to select the stocks on sale: number one, I don't like working with stocks which are not well established. So by well-established stocks, I mean that they should be part of a well-established index. So the first option that I select is that they need to belong to the S&P 500 index. So any stock which is part of the S&P 500 index basically has some significance. There's a reason why the stock has been included in the index. The index is supposed to have a wide variety of stocks which are representative of their respective industries, their respective sectors. So, as a starting point, the a stock being part of the index basically makes sure that you're not you leave outside all the penny stocks and very, very small companies which are highly volatile and the ones which we basically do not want to consider as ideal investment opportunities. I'm not saying that you cannot make money with those kind of investments or trading, but the objective here is to select stable companies, well reputed companies, and those companies are usually the ones which are part of the S&P 500 index. So that's the first option that I said, and you can see now only 505 stocks are being listed here. The second thing that I want to make sure is I want to deal with stocks only which are uh, operating in the United States. So now I am down to 484 options. And the next thing that I'm going to set is the market cap, which is mid plus mid. So I'm looking for companies which have market capitalization in excess of 2 billion. Now, this is a parameter which you need to tweak. Right now, the markets are close to their highest levels. So the companies are valuated nicely. But let's say you are doing this particular analysis right after a big crash, then you may want to select the small option, because let's say all companies have lost 50% of their value because of some recent market crash. Most of the companies are undergoing that kind of a correction. In that case, any company which would be picked up today, that means having a capitalization of $2 billion, will be dropped out. So it's better in those cases to use go one level lower. That means use companies that have valuations with more than 300 million. But under normal circumstances, I try to select companies which are having over 2 billion of valuation. Now, the reason for that again is I do not want to pick up companies which have very small valuations, because let's say there's a company which is only having a valuation of $100 million. A small investment going into that company or a small investment coming out of that company can really push the prices up and down. And we do not want to trade those kind of stocks which are really, really volatile. And a single investment coming in or a single investment moving out can send price left and right. And we want to avoid those kind of stocks at all costs. So now you can see that with these two and three criteria set up, I'm basically looking at 483 stocks. The next filter that I set here is the option short, and I want to look at optionable stocks. So I basically work with options trades, and most of the companies which are listed in S&P 500 are basically optionable. You have options on them. If any companies don't have that, then those will get dropped out, and we have 482 companies or tickers still listed here. And the next thing, now since we are looking for stocks which are on sale, right? So that means there is a recent move which has happened towards the downside. So let's say there's a company which is doing fine. So what all would you look at? You want to know that it has it's part of the index. That means it's pretty stable. It's been there for some time. The market capitalization is not looking at penny stocks. We're looking at companies which have enough capitalization so that they have enough money, they have enough business, they are already well established. And uh, the next thing that I basically look for is the target price. So the target price has to be above price. Now I'm not setting any targets here. There are a lot of options available here. If you look here closely, I'm not setting any targets that the target price should be at least 10% above the current price or 20% above or 30% above. I'm just putting a basic filter that the targets that have been set by the various analysts, the average target price that has been set has to be above the current price. Because remember, we are trying to look for stocks that are on sale. So stocks on sale means that the average target price that the analysts are uh, arriving at for that particular stock should be above the current price. So I'm just putting that filter, and then I want a recommendation of buy or better. So analysts will give different kinds of recommendations. They'll give a hold or a buy or a strong buy or a sell or a strong sell recommendation. So we again don't want to get into stocks where the analysts are telling you uh, to basically sell the stock or to just hold the stock or to strongly sell the stock. We don't want to touch those stocks. Now, this particular platform, if you can see here, it's a combination of technical tools. It's a combination of fundamental tools. And right now, till now, what you're seeing here, I've not applied any of the technical filters. So now, in order to get uh, more more filtered list, we are going to be applying two technical filters here. And one of them, as I said, I want to buy stocks. One thing before we proceed, you can see that once I put this filter, now we are down to 278 stocks. So there are 278 stocks which are satisfying all these conditions: one, two, three, four, five, six. So we've put six conditions till now, and there are 278 stocks which are satisfying these six conditions. So let's see. what else is there? The two technical filters that I was mentioning. The first thing is that I want to pick up stocks which have recently lost value. That means the stocks have fallen, and that we can get by using the RSI. So, any stocks which are oversold, that means there's a lot of selling which has recently happened. Now, these are necessarily not bad stocks. How? Because the analysts are telling that these have a buy recommendation or a strong buy recommendation. Their target price, which is set by the analysts again, is above the current price. So these have a potential to go up, but in the recent times, they have been oversold. So I select this oversold 40 level, and now you can see we are down to 62 tickers. And the last parameter, technical parameter, that I like to set up is now because I have selected stocks which are oversold. So if you look at any of these, you can see that the recent trend, you can just hover over it and you get a small snapshot. You can see that for Apple, the current trend is a downtrend. The prices have been going down. Now another thing that I want to see, when does the bounce happen? A bounce happens when you have a candlestick with a long lower shadow. So I have applied another filter that the candlestick, the last candlestick for the last day, should be having a long lower shadow. Now, if you have some knowledge about candlestick patterns, then any candlestick which is formed during a downtrend, so this RSI being oversold at 40 implies that the stock is in a recent downtrend. And at the end of the downtrend, if you see a long lower shadow, then that basically implies that on the last day, the bears tried to push the prices lower, but the bulls got control and they pushed the prices right back up. So this is kind, I won't say it's a reversal pattern, but it's the beginning of a reversal pattern. And now what we do, I click on the charts here. So instead of this list, now I'm going to, instead of the list of the 12 stocks, I am basically going to get the 12 charts displayed, and that is what is loading here. So you can see now on the same screen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The same stocks that we had filtered by applying our criteria. Now the same 12 stocks are being listed here, and the charts are being displayed here. So it becomes very easy to just take a look, glance at it, and then decide which ones are good or bad by opportunities. Now, once I have the charts displayed in front of me, what am I exactly looking for? I am looking for stocks which are basically making multiple bottoms. That means they are close to hitting their support levels. Okay, they are close to hitting their support levels. Now, if you look at ABMD here, you can see that this is a very strong support here. This was a very strong support, and we are still far away from that support. So this is something which I'm not going to consider. If you look at AMD, this is satisfying our criteria because this level is a pretty strong support. AMD bounced off once, first basically here once, then second time, then it barely broke through it and then came back. So third time and then the fourth time. Now it's reaching the same levels for the fifth time. So this particular level at which it is trading now is a very strong resistance. So AMD is going to be one of the considerations that I'm going to basically add to my watch list. This is a prospective candidate where we can look for a bullish move. Why? Because one, this particular stock is satisfying. It's a stable stock. It's part of the S&P 500. It's a well-known stock index. And the second thing is it's got a buy recommendation from the analyst. Third, the target price is above the current price. And lastly, it's come down to a level which is a prior support, which is a very strong prior support. And now it's showing a candlestick pattern which is having a long tail or a long shadow towards the bottom. So all these factors included don't guarantee anything, but it's a much better buy recommendation than stocks which are not showing this pattern. Now let's go to Costco. So Costco definitely is not a buy right now. Why? Because you can see that there are no support levels here. The one level which was here at this level has already been broken. There's a blue line which the tool automatically puts there, and this is already broken. And now the next level is somewhere here. So unless we see a bounce at this level, there's no reason for getting into this technically. This is CTLT, and same story with CTLT. CTLT again, it's not close to the support. Now, one more thing, I personally do not like looking at these rising support lines, or which are essentially called trend lines. I always work with horizontal support and resistance lines. I don't like looking at the trend lines which are slanting upwards or downwards, because in my experience they are not that accurate. You can try to join a few points and create different slopes, but horizontal levels are what basically I find are more consistent, and therefore I stick to those. So again, this is not something that I would consider. Same thing here. In fact, this is a kind of a head and shoulder pattern to a certain extent, and it's going down. So again, you see, this is the strong support area now, somewhere around this level, and it's far away. So the stock can still fall down to this level. So it's still not in our consideration. EW, no, no, not being considered. Again, it's a pattern where, I mean, there is to a certain extent, this level was the support, but it's been broken. So again, we won't consider that. Same with Home Depot. This was the level. It's been broken, so nothing happening here. Nothing here as well. This support level has been broken. Nothing here, nothing here. Again, this support level has been broken. Now, if this TJX is getting close to this level, so once it gets there, it could be once I see a long shadow towards the downside. If I see a candle forming that way, then it can be a buy. Why? Because you can see this stock bounced off this level. So this was a resistance earlier on. Then once the stock went through, this became a support. And now if it again bounces from this level, then this will basically become a support once again. But we have to see. It can still come down by about $2. So not right now. Now WST is interesting. So I cannot make out much. So we will open it in detail. We'll look at it separately. And ZTS again. Now this has broken the support level. There was actually no support because this is a trend line, and as I said, I don't like trend lines. So let's look in detail at WST. So this is what WST is doing. Now see, this is what I'm talking about. If you look at WST, uh, this particular level, the line which is already drawn here, you can see one bounce, second bounce, almost a third bounce, a fourth bounce, a fifth, almost a fifth bounce, and now we are ready for a sixth bounce. So again, the overall trend is not very promising, but in the short term, you can see that with this candle, if the next day open is above $260, then you can expect a short term upward move like this one, or even like this one, and it's basically working in this channel, right? This fellow is this level is acting as a strong resistance, and this fellow is acting as a strong support. So this one is something which you can trade. I would although recommend one thing, that whenever you see something to do with pharmaceuticals or biotechnology, these stocks are really volatile. The reason is because one FDA approval or rejection can send the stock price soaring high, or just dive down by 30-40%. So if this pattern I had seen on let's say a retail stock, or some other more stable stock which is not in the pharma sector or in the biotechnology sector, that would be a definite buy. But for this, I will be a bit cautious. I will be a bit more reluctant. And let's look at more details. So this is trading right now at $262. Let's see what's the target price. It's 328. So we have a lot of room to go up. And has it gone to those levels? Yes, it's gone close to that levels. Why? Because it's gone to about 310. It's not gone to 328. So the good thing here is that it's got a lot of upside potential. It's got a lot of upside potential. And this screener, this website is really good in the sense because it gives you the latest news as well. So I don't see any uh, recent news which is kind of showing that they had some rejections or anything. So basically, you can go through this recent news. These are the recent events that have happened around this particular stock, and that gives you more information. So that's it. We wanted to basically understand how this stock screener works, and basically, the objective of this video was to help you understand how I select stocks on sale. So, again, just to summarize and capture everything once again, these are the settings that I'm using, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 filters that I'm putting here. And essentially, what I'm trying to say here is that we are not doing too much analysis right now. This is only to shortlist the stocks that then you can analyze either technically or fundamentally based on whatever is your style of trading or investing. But in general, we are selecting companies which are stable, which have a fairly good market capitalization, and where the target price has been set by analysts at a higher price and they have a buy or a strong buy recommendation. And then we are looking for a dip in these stocks. So, anytime for some reason, if the RSI is oversold, that means there is a recent dip in the stocks, and you can see that there is a dip here, there is a dip here, there is a dip here, there is a dip here. So that dip is because of the RSI being oversold, this particular filter. And then we want to be close to the point where the dip is about to get over. And when does the dip get over? When you have this kind of a long shadow which is happening here. You can actually, instead of the long lower shadow, select the hammer. Now hammer is an ideal uh, candle pattern that should happen at the end of a downward move, which indicates that the stock is done going down. So let's see if hammer shows up anything. It's showing 15 stocks which actually have a hammer pattern. So you can consider these as well. So you can either have a long lower shadow or you can select for a hammer pattern, because in a downtrend, a hammer also is indicative of a possible reversal the next day. So what basically you need to look out for is these all these stocks, uh, which are basically also now Adobe I won't consider because this is not at a support level. But like, let's consider WSD. Now it is at a support level. So tomorrow or the next trading day, whenever it is, if I see the stock trading above 262, then this pattern is confirmed. We had a downtrend, we had long candles showing a downtrend, and then we had a long shadow towards the downward. This candle with the long down shadow basically represented the fact that initially the bears pushed the price down, but then the bulls brought it up. Now, if you see another green candle here, or the price open here close to the mid of this red candle, then that basically means that the bulls are taking the control back. Whatever this pretty good movement was there towards the downside, the bulls are now taking over and they are pushing back the prices towards the upside. So this support, we can be certain, is kind of holding. And if we get that confirmation, then we can get into a short-term trade, which basically is with the assumption that this is not going to fall much lower. So I hope this particular screener settings helps you, and it helps you identify stocks which are on sale. These are good stocks with good recommendations, good price targets, and they are optionable, so you can use options on them, option trades for these stocks. And as usual, I will, leave a link to this tool in the description below, so you can use that, you can check it out. And if you want, then you can basically go to the paid version. I think it's there in Elite here. Yeah, so you can subscribe to Finviz Elite. This opens up all the options. So on the screener itself, if you go to screener, you can see that I was not able to select all the options. Uh, I get, like, if you consider the price, then I cannot set a custom price over here. I can only set specific prices, but you can set a custom price if you basically go in for the elite version. So if you look at the sector, custom elite only. So all these lot of elite options are there. So you can basically select more than one sector, or combination of that using the elite version. And it's not very expensive. It's just 24 uh, 96 a month. So you can try out the free version, and if you find it's beneficial, it helps your trading decisions. It helps you basically filter the stocks and get to know what stocks to buy. You can actually use this for a lot of different strategies. This is one of the strategies that I employ, and then you get all these benefits. So definitely try it out. It's free to use, the free version, And if you feel that you need these additional features like backtesting and advanced charts and real-time data, intraday charts, and all that stuff, then you can always go in for the paid version. I'll leave a link down for this. And thanks for watching this video. Hopefully, this was helpful. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them down below. Please subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and like the video, sorry, and you can share it with your friends and help them basically use the same information so that this information can help them as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.